Okay, let's dive right in. We are pulling back the curtain on the AI strategy of a true travel giant, Booking.com. We're going to explore the real world, in the trenches lessons they've learned, all through the eyes of their director of product machine learning, Pranav Pathak. So, to kick things off, let's start with a discovery that really tells you everything you need to know about their whole AI philosophy. I mean, out of hundreds of possible filters, what do you think is the single most popular thing millions and millions of travelers are looking for? Is it a private beach? Maybe a five-star rating? Free breakfast? Hot tubs. It was hot tubs. And it wasn't even close. But here's the real kicker. When their AI first found this huge, hidden demand from people just typing it into a search box, Booking.com didn't even have a filter for hot tubs. Wild, right? This one single insight changed everything for them. And this discovery perfectly illustrates their first big principle, what we're going to call the hot tub principle. The idea is simple. AI's biggest power isn't just making the things you already know about a little bit better. No, it's about revealing the things you have no idea about, the hidden wants and needs of your customers. You see, before this, the team had to pretty much guess what people wanted based on where they clicked. It's a really noisy, indirect signal. But once they introduced free text search, they basically opened up a direct window into actual conversations. They could finally understand what users wanted in their own words. So, finding out people want hot tubs is pretty cool. But how has this new wave of AI actually produced tangible, bottom-line results for the business? Let's shift from discovery to execution and look at one of their biggest operational areas, customer service. Now, check this out. This slide shows a massive leap in performance. When a customer has a problem, the very first step is what they call topic detection, basically figuring out what's actually wrong. Well, by swapping out their older machine learning models for modern large language models, or LLMs, they literally doubled their accuracy at understanding the problem right from the get-go. And this just brilliantly shows the ripple effect of that 2x improvement. Higher accuracy meant a huge jump in problems getting solved automatically without a human. That, in turn, freed up their human agents to focus on the really tough, urgent stuff, like a family locked out of their hotel at 2 in the morning. And all of this leads to happier customers who stick around longer. It's a fantastic chain reaction. So let's get into the how and see how all this is built. Because to deliver these kinds of results at a global scale, you can't just plug in one model and call it a day. Booking.com built this really sophisticated, multi-layered system to handle every single query that comes in. What's amazing is they were true pioneers here. Long before AI agents became this huge buzzword, they were building a system of specialized AIs just out of necessity. They basically created a blueprint for what so many other companies are scrambling to build today. Think of their system like a super efficient assembly line. A query comes in, and this main orchestrator model acts like the foreman. First, it sends the query to a moderation station for safety. Then it goes to another specialized model to figure out what the user really wants. From there, it calls the right internal tool, like their recommendation engine, to get the right data before a final LLM puts it all together into a helpful, easy-to-understand answer for the user. Okay, so with AI tech moving at lightning speed, making the right strategic bets is absolutely critical. How does a company like Booking.com decide what to build themselves versus what to just buy from another company? Well, it turns out they have a very, very clear framework for this. The main point here is all about focus. They build what is core and unique to the travel experience, the things where they can be the absolute best in the world. But for the foundational stuff, the tech that everyone needs, like the base LLMs themselves, they buy it from the specialists. They just don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's that simple. And this philosophy guides pretty much all of their technical decisions. In a field that literally changes every 6 months, they actively avoid getting locked into one single technology or one single vendor. By making sure almost all of their decisions are two-way doors that they can walk back through, they ensure they can always pivot without a huge cost. All right, now for one of the biggest challenges and, honestly, opportunities in AI today, memory. How do you use someone's past interactions to make their future ones better and more personal? As Booking.com has learned, it is a very, very delicate balance. So to handle all this complexity, they think about user memory in 3 separate layers. First, you've got the long-term permanent stuff, like if a user always needs a hotel with disability access. Then there's midterm memory, for things that change over your life, like your travel budget. And finally, there's the short-term, trip-specific stuff, like wanting that hot tub for just one specific vacation. But here it is, their number one absolute guiding principle. It's simple, but so powerful. The technology to build a memory system, that's there. The real work, the much harder part, is designing a system that earns and maintains user trust through clear, explicit consent and never, ever crosses that creepy line. Okay, so after hearing about their whole journey, what does all of this mean for you or your company? Well, PathHack offers some really clear, practical, and refreshing advice for anyone who's just getting started with AI. His core message is to just fight complexity at every turn. Don't go out and try to build a massive foundation model from scratch. No. Instead, find a real painful customer problem and apply the absolute simplest tool you can find. Maybe just an API from another company to solve it. The goal is to find that product market fit first, and only then do you build out the complex stuff around it. And that brings us right back to where we started, leaving you with one final thought to take away. As you look at your own work, your customers, or your industry, what is that simple, painful, and unmet need that AI could help you uncover? In other words, what is your hot tub problem?